I'm Debbie Bell-Hosking for FinextraTV at Sibos 2025 in Frankfurt. And I'm talking to Mauriceo Castanheiro, Head of International Payments Fraud at Nasdaq Verafin. And we're going to be talking about preventing fraud through global partnerships and cross-border initiatives. Mauriceo, a big welcome here to our Sibos studio.
Thanks for having me. It's really exciting to be here. Appreciate it.
And exciting conversations to be had. So I mentioned there Nasdaq Verafin. Can you tell us a little bit more about the platform and how it works to prevent fraud as well as money laundering?
Yep, we've been around for 20 years and we really focus on trying to help financial institutions better understand the risks associated with fraud and AML. And when it comes to that, we believe that collaboration is the key. So we really focus heavily on ensuring that our customers are able to leverage the data from our consortium of over 2,600 financial institutions and ensure that they are getting the best insights that they possibly can. We're really proud with our partnership with AWS. They've been a great partner in helping us build out this environment. And the real key for us is to ensure that when we're looking at building out these solutions, we do it in a way that meets the customer needs and gives them effective and efficient solutions that they can leverage to solve fraud and AML.
And of course, Nasdaq Verafin recently launched a report about financial crime within Europe. So I know it's a big report, but in this small space of time, could you identify some of the fraud trends you're seeing in this region?
Yeah, like anybody else sort of globally, what we're seeing is a big shift to authorized push payment fraud, where the customer is being tricked into committing the actual fraud, as well as things like business email compromises, which is a similar attack involving businesses. And the key here is that a lot of the controls that institutions have put in place over the last 10 years have really been focused on solving things like account takeover frauds, which an institution on their own can solve. But when we're thinking about trying to address these problems for authorized push payment fraud, we really need a network to actually solve that. And that's what we've built across our consortium of institutions and really focused on getting that data into the hands of institutions in real time so that they can actually stop and prevent the payments from going out before the actual fraud happens.
Gosh, there's so much to do to keep pace with the fraud prevention and keeping up with those fraud trends. So it's interesting to hear. Now, of course, Nasdaq Verafin, you've got a big footprint in North America.
Yeah.
And last year, I think it was, you announced a move into Europe. Can I ask you, how is that going and what are you hearing from European banks?
It's been really exciting. So we've been at this for about 2 years now. And the conversations we've been having with institutions in Europe are very similar to what we're facing with conversations in North America. Institutions are really struggling with how do you protect the customer from these types of frauds? How do you do it in an efficient manner? And we're seeing the same trend play out in Europe. And what we really have been really excited about is the fact that institutions are now looking for ways that they can partner and get better insights from consortiums and networks. And that really is the big key takeaway here, is that an institution on their own can't manage these risks. They really need to do this as a collective. I find there's a very good push for collaboration across the industry. We're seeing a lot of different sort of frameworks coming around in terms of how institutions can work together in the financial crime space. And a lot of the leading institutions in Europe are trying to figure out how they can leverage those frameworks, and that's where we think we can really help.
And I hear what you're saying about that push for collaboration. Certainly we're hearing it a lot here at Sibos and in previous years as well. But of course, Sibos, there's all this talk about the future of payments. There is so much promise about faster global payments. But at the same time, you've got that need to protect against fraud and protect the customer or consumer. So how would you say you get that balance right?
It's interesting because when we talk to financial institutions globally, a lot of them are able to actually detect the fraud. It's doing it in an efficient manner. Most of the time, a lot of these frauds are taking place, and ultimately, if you look at, has this person sent payments to this account in the past, you can catch a lot of the fraud in there. A lot of the fraud is within that bucket. The real challenge comes up when trying to do that efficiently, and this is where the benefit of consortium data and consortium analytics can actually play. the ability to actually profile accounts and say whether the receiving account is actually safe or not allows institutions to more seamlessly manage the risk associated with payments fraud, reduce a lot of the false positives that they're dealing with, and I think more importantly, allows faster payments to actually move faster. And that's ultimately, I think, where we were trying to go as an industry, is ensuring that consumers, businesses can move payments very quickly, and having good fraud controls implemented into that allows you to do that. And this is, again, one of the big benefits with our partnership with Amazon AWS is they allow us to power this at a global level. And it's really critical for us to find those partners that allow us to do that and be able to move into new regions with a safe, secure platform that can deliver value to institutions across the globe.
And that's a phrase you often hear, that the power of partnerships, but here you actually are talking about the partnership powering you through. So,
absolutely, yeah.
So Mauriceo, lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us here at Sibos.
Appreciate having me. Thank you so much.